Good morning. December 6th. I think it's about 12:30 p.m. Saturday. Um, just a pre-post gym check-in. I didn't go to the gym again today. I was in bed late last night. I slept okay, but I was so tired and sore when I got up at 5. I went back to bed and passed out until about 8:30. So I obviously needed sleep and rest. And man, my shoulders, my elbow, and my fucking lower back, everything is just sore. So I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I got other things I want to work on. Primarily my website, so I'm going to do that today instead. I just went to Stupid Store and bought a bunch of groceries. First time I've had groceries in a long time in this house, almost never, not yet. I was kind of eating as I go and just every day going to the store and buying food as required. And I like living that way. It's a minimalist approach and it's less that goes to waste. But I guess part of my it's starting to get colder outside. It's 20 below centigrade Celsius today. And my fear is, fuck, if there's a fucking snowstorm and I've got no food in my freezer, and roads stop, I'm a little screwed. I don't have any food or anything, so I stocked up on some frozen meats and stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, I went to Neil deGrasse Tyson last night. It was okay. It was a little more boring than I thought it would be. His live presentation was anyway. I was tired too, man. Like I'm in bed by 9:30, so 9 o'clock rolled around, and I was like, "Oh, I've been sitting here for an hour. I'm tired." Anyway, it was good, but he did get political a couple times and kind of throw shade at conservatives. And I don't even identify as a conservative. I mean, I vote conservative. I don't identify with them because I'm not a God-fearing man, first of all. And I don't really care about things that they care about a lot of ways socially. My stance on abortion and gay marriage and I'm like this. I don't really have a fight. I don't have skin in the game. Why do I care? I don't care. But I vote conservative because fiscally, they tend to make a little more sense, as I understand it. And partially, just to pump the brakes on social advancement. That sounds worse than what I mean. I mean, just that, look, progress is important, but you can definitely progress in the wrong direction. And if it's too aggressive, it's harder to undo, right? So while I see conservatives of sort of wanting to go back in time and liberals wanting to push the timescale forward 100 years, I'm sort of balanced in the middle where I'm like, look, we need to progress, man. I mean, social changes are absolutely imperative to a functioning democracy. Equality is important, but the concept of equality and equity being blended together is what sort of concerns me. I'm like, no. You can't take money from the rich because they'll fuck off, and then we're being stuck with nothing. I don't want to live in a country without innovators and driven, motivated people that make the world better. And I do buy into the concept of trickle-down economics, like it or not. It's It's abundantly clear to me that's exactly what happens. I'm using a cell phone that would have cost me $25,000 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. What does that tell you? I mean, that is an element of trickle-down effect. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. Neil deGrasse Tyson sidetracked me a little bit with his politics. The last 5-10 minutes, man, were the best part. That's where he was talking about, look, man, the thing that I admired the shit about those cosmologists or, astrophysicists or whatever, when they talk about the purpose of life, man, and from the standpoint of science, like the thing that struck me, and it always will, and it just makes me happy, is the idea that we're all on this rock floating through space at the exact same time. Considering the universe is 14 billion years old on the high end, and we're all on this planet at the same time, traveling through space is just, for me, it's hard to comprehend. It's mind-boggling, and that's what makes it special, and that's what makes everybody special and everybody valuable. And I get into this argument a lot with my sister about the value of people, and I suggest many times that there's more intrinsic value to some people than others. I mean, people that are very beautiful have a social currency that I don't. You might not either. They get privileges and access to things that other people either have to work their ass for or be born into a luxury of that kind of And that, man, it's such a wide cast net. I mean, there's privileges on every level, on good looks, on racial, on cultural, on country, on fucking you name it. I mean, yeah. Anyway, when I suggest that there's people of higher intrinsic value, I'm not saying maybe intrinsic is the wrong word because that sort of suggests you're born into it. And while that is partially true when it comes to genetics or wealth, um, what I constantly have to remind my sister, and I'll remind you, that at the end of the day, every single fucking life on this planet, mosquito or otherwise, matters to me. I'm a hypocrite. I kill mosquitoes because they pester me, but I don't go out of my way to destroy them and remove them off the face of the earth. That's not what I'm suggesting. The higher order species, of course, I would never kill a mouse, whether it was pestering me or not, burrowing under my house or whatever. I wouldn't hire an exterminator. I would hire someone to get rid of it ethically and relocate the animal because I just don't want to kill it. The same reason that if I see a spider in the shower, I don't squash it. I put it in a cup and I put it in the basement in the winter. And in the summer, I put it outside. I don't want to kill it because I value all life. But the value and the value economically, I guess, is what maybe the distinction. The economic value of people is different. And that's just what it is, man. You have to accept that. We're never going to have equality and parity on that scale because it doesn't make sense. Some people are just better at things than others. And whether that's business or sports or boxing or whatever, like you can't have equity across the board. And that is where I argue with my sister until I'm blue in the face. And you can argue with me too, and I'll listen, I promise. You might not convince me and change my mind, but you can try. Yeah, anyway, so there's my wrap up for the day. I went to Stupid Store, got some groceries. I'm having a lot of pain today, man. Holy smokes. My hip is bothering me. My right knee is clicking and bothering me because it's cold. And my fucking left shoulder is just, my left shoulder is clicking and my right shoulder, yeah, spit all over the phone. My right shoulders are clicking and my left elbow is just like, I don't know. What did I can't take me anywhere. I drove coffee all over my face. I'm like a 5-year-old in a 50-year-old body. Mama. Anyway, I went to Stupid Store with a positive attitude, man. I tried to keep my chin up and smile at everybody, and I had a few people say hi, and I said hi, and they responded. Rather, I initiated the kindness. By the way, thank you. And it's not kindness. I don't see that as kindness. I see that as just trying to be cordial, right? Friendly with everybody and trying to get into the mindset of like, man, Alex, like we're sharing this planet with everybody and we got to figure out a way to move forward collectively because combatively, man, it's not going to end out well for somebody. And I don't want that. Even if I was on the winning team, I wouldn't want that. I'm like, no, that just because I benefit and everybody else suffers does not mean it's something I wish to pursue. It's in my DNA. It's in my core that is not the right way to live and move forward. And anyway, he talks about that, but in the same time, he kind of, like I said, he threw shade at conservatives because of the COVID thing, and the vaccine science, which I buy into, man. As a man of science, I understand that the vaccine was more often than not effective at solving the problem it set out to solve. The counter argument, of course, is that it's a spectrum. It's not a precision. It's not like, how did I explain it? Like Newtonian mechanics or physics, right? Where, force equals mass times acceleration 100% of the time. There are no exceptions to the rule, except in the quantum world or maybe in a black hole or something. But those laws of nature do not fluctuate. They do not change. They're written in stone and they're understood to be immutable. And COVID vaccines are not. They're a spectrum of efficacy. And all it takes is one individual to react negatively to that vaccine and have their life ruined. And conservatives have a point when they say, I don't want to take it because I might be that 1%. Again, I'm conservative and in politics, and only because I'm forced to vote. If I threw away my vote, that's stupid. But, I explained to my buddy there, I was like, man, that is the difference between being afraid of a vaccine versus denying the earth being round, right? If you think the flat earth is a non-negotiable, it's a universal law, it's non-negotiable. It's like, I will I don't even argue with people at that point because I'm like, this conversation is going nowhere. The argument against anti-vaccines, again, because of that 1% outlier. I mean, in my mind, man, like you have a case. It's weak. You wouldn't hold up in court, but you have a right to argue that and make that distinction. And that's sort of where I think conservatives are coming from when they talk about things like birthing rights and everything else. Like it just takes that one individual to do an abortion for the wrong reason, and you have a case. And doesn't mean you're right, and it doesn't mean you should win, but you have a case that's worth listening to. Is what I'm getting at. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense to anybody, or am I making dollar bills, or am I making pennies? Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. I'm done. I want to go work on my computer. I got a bunch of work I want to get done. I want to get that website finished. Deployment and production settings are going to take me a couple days. So I want this done tomorrow so that I can spend all week getting that up and live. And then I can start pushing it to the wide world internet and say, hey, look at me. Look what I can do for you. Let's do business. A neighbor just walked by and looking in my window. Creepy. Anyway, that's good enough for me, guys. We'll hopefully you have a fantastic day, and I hope you win the lottery. And don't forget about me. And as always, if you're watching, I see you, I feel you, I appreciate your eyeballs and attention. And you got beautiful eyes and beautiful ears, by the way. Just saying. Take care of yourself, and we'll chat soon. All right, peace, bye.